Right, hello everybody and welcome to the Comb Racing League. We are here today for Tier 2 Round 12 at Singapore. I'm joined today by Rob.
Hi guys, how we doing? Sorry, I just had to hold in the belch then. That was that would have been great downstream, wouldn't it? Well, here's Rob.
Do it before anyone manages to join just yet. Get it out of the way and done with.
No, I'm all good. That curry's hit the spot.
Right, so Singapore, the land of lost front wings, terrifying rain.
Yeah, I lost a fair few on Monday. Yeah, it was
crashing Ferrari teammates.
Quite a few of those. Oh, I mean, let's hope the Ferrari boys don't do that today. I mean, Liam, there's the Belgian. I don't know if you heard it then. That was under my breath then. But Liam, one of the Ferrari drivers, currently sitting P2 in the championship by 2 points. So he's definitely not going to be wanting any crashes today.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, his teammate here, not racing today, so he's got the reserve of Freefall.
Hey.
Always a fun driver.
I'll tell you what, he put in a great performance in comms on Monday night for Tier 4.
He's one of the best.
And it is a long race to commentate Singapore, especially if there's non-stop action, let's face it.
Well, to be fair, if there's non-stop action, I consider that the best bit. It's if you just get in a bunch of trains that aren't really battling, that's when it really drains you. But now I'm looking forward to this one.
It is one of them races where it is a good track. It's a very tight street circuit. There's always plenty of opportunity to overtake, but there is always plenty of opportunity for drama.
Ooh, okay. Have you looked in the comms channel, Rob?
No.
You said earlier you were wanting some rain. I have some very good news for you.
Oh, am I getting my wellies out, lad?
We have, Mr. Freefall has told us 14% rain at the start, 44% 15 minutes in, and 80% 30 minutes in. So, yeah, we are looking for some muddy puddles to splash in today.
Oh, that's commentator's curse, and we weren't even on when I said that.
Right, but here we go. Shu about to be setting the first lap of the session. I assume it's going to be a dry quali. You can't really tell if it's clouds or not, just because it's so dark.
Yeah, because it's a night race, Singapore.
Drivers going out, more drivers going out than you normally would have at the start of a session, so possibly it is going to get wet. Just to go over the 3 reserves, we've already mentioned Freefall is a reserve. The other 2, Dylan, back again after his debut last week, actually his debut podium as well. Joined CRL the same day, got a 3rd position, and back again for more. The other man, goodness, I've forgotten who it was. Oh no, Ennis. Ennis in the Aston Martin. So he's racing alongside teammates DC. Well-known name is already.
We've already got a yellow flag already. Either one of the drivers is going slow, or we've got a war. I've not got my map up at the minute.
I think it's Indian Jesus who's done it. The front wing's there. Wasn't a lap. Guess not so much anymore. I guess there's not the Singapore sling to contend with as quite often. Well, I say quite often, as used to be the case.
Back in 2 seconds, dude. The little one's just crying, so we'll be back in 2 seconds. You're on your own for a minute.
Yep. Yeah, as I say, no more Singapore sling, of course. Purple sectors for the first man out on track. Shu here. Now, with rain, we're going to see some very varied strategies, and of course, actually, rain not being massive at the start, only a small percentage chance of it there. So it's possible it is going to be a dry to wet. The Shu actually looking like a clip to the wall there. I'm not sure if he did or not, if that's just F1 showing a bit of a graphical glitch. But here we go, Shu, a 1:31.7. Can't claim to know how that matches up. We will hop on board with Liam, one of our front runners in terms of the championship, just 2 points behind T-Griff at the moment. Man has led the championship most of the way so far this season. What can he do? He's not up front. He's a 1:38.2, slower than he would have wanted. Next man, Cole Paradox, actually missed him crossing the line, but 38.4. I guess a lot of this is going to be heavily setup based. Indian Jesus, of course, we saw him slowing down. Dylan on the mediums, 39 flat. As Strauss goes second fastest, trying to find the next driver to the line. It was Ennis, the reserve, 37.43. Well, 2.5 tenths adrift as War Daddy puts it 3rd fastest. Club PR 7th fastest. two Mercedes boys, as Miconi then bumping him down to 5th position, and T-Griff bumping him down to 6th position. T-Griff up into 4th as DC comes across the line. P7 for him, just under a second adrift of the provisional pole time as Hobbs the next man to the line. There is a yellow flag. I think that is just a slow Red Bull on the straight. I'm not quite sure, but Hobbsy P9 for the AlphaTauri driver, as I believe Steiny there putting himself up into 8th position. Nolsey choice of a hard tyre, interesting. See what happens with him. I think he's just going to be second slowest ahead of Indian Jesus, but behind the rest of the field. So a lot of drivers getting the laps in very early. Freefall just starting his lap. We saw Farrell a while back just starting his lap. Next man.
I'm on board with Freefall at the moment. I'll let you know if anything happens.
Yeah, trying to see who the next man to the line is actually going to be. I guess Indian Jesus. Oh, having said that, I just hopped on board with him as he was going mid-spin, so I probably was correct.
Set a 154.
Yeah, well, he was the driver we saw causing the yellow flag. Oh, and he's got in the way of the McLaren. Right. Lovely bit of contact there. Ooh.
Oh, and he's been given a 5 grid place penalty.
That is
gone
a shame
from bad
for him.
to worse.
He's not going to be too happy about that one. We caught a very
no.
Well, quite clear camera
well,
angle
he's
of what
currently
happened on stream.
P15, so technically he's P20.
Though, yeah, I imagine his lap times will improve, but as will everyone else's. So we'll have to see what happens with that. I'll hop on board then with Farrell at the moment. One of the drivers yet to set a lap. I believe the next one to the line who hasn't set a lap yet.
To be fair, Freefall's putting in a good lap here at the minute.
Yeah, what have we got? I think Farrell, 4-star and Freefall all currently on laps in that order. So hop on board them
He's currently still not set a lap, but he is in the pit.
He's on that lap as Farrell, P5 for the man who could not decide on his setup. Yeah, Freefall. He's the next man to the line. Waitsy has now started his qualifying lap. Not Jack. Not out on track just yet, but here we go, the Scotsman across the line, P15 39.8 for him, a lot of time wanting to be found there. Of course it is often the case with the reserves, not as much practice, less to lose in terms of the championship. 4-star playing with the curb a bit much there, but a 38.2 for him, 10th fastest, just in the top half of the grid. Still no sign of not Jack leaving the pit lane. Interesting.
I think he's biding his time.
Yeah.
I'm currently on board with Waitsy a minute, who's on a hot lap. He's the only one, apart from Jack, who hasn't set a time.
Yeah, I mean, we're still expecting the likes, certainly of Dylan, Nolsey and Indian Jesus to try and improve their lap. 2 of them not on the soft compound. The other one, not a clean lap he got.
Corners on this track, I think, which can ruin your lap, because the majority of them are all 90 degrees turns. Unless you take it just right, it can cost you a lot of time.
Yeah, well, I think we just saw Waitsy there going a little bit deep, perhaps not turning in at the right time. This doesn't feel too much like a push lap. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just completely misjudging how it looks. But he feels quite a conservative one. Let's see where he slops in, how much I know. Apparently nothing, as he goes 5th fastest.
Looked like he came very close to nearly invalidating right at the end now on that last corner, but he kept it in. Jack has retired with not setting a lap. Has he got a penalty that we're not aware of?
I am wondering that. I'll have a look now. What's his name? LOI.
Lol, not Jack.
Yes, he does have a qualifying ban.
That'll be why he's not gone out then.
Well, I'll see if anyone else has got ones as well that we just somehow missed.
Well, everybody else on this grid has all set a time apart from Jack.
Right, so DeWill and Knight also have qualifying bans, but I know certainly DeWill is a reserve. Is Knight a reserve, or is he just not racing today?
I think he's not racing.
I'm not. Oh, that's the. Hang on.
As you can see, people that are watching, you can tell that me and John are always prepared.
I think Knight's a reserve as well.
Oh, is
Here we
he?
go, Indian Jesus finally coming round. Is this a proper lap or is he about to start? I think he's about to start his first flyer of a lap. Got a car ahead of him, hopefully they don't get in the way. We'll see how that goes. I assume that the Dylan and
A
Nolsey
lot
have
of drivers all on outlaps at the minute. 7 minutes to go. Quali.
Yeah, Dylan and Nolsey have now moved on to the soft tyre, but their current best is on the medium and hard respectively.
See, I've got a theory. Hear me out. Indian
Right.
Jesus has set that 1 minute 54 because he knows the wet weather's coming, and that's his benchmark for the race itself. That's my theory.
Well, maybe he's going for the Tobe strategy. We were talking about this before, said we were going to throw him in advanced. Tobes in Season 5, there was a race around Singapore, and 31 lap race. His strategy was a 10 stop.
Nice.
That man murdered more front wings than anyone possibly ever could. I believe he used all 5 tyres. Oh, actually, though, there was a driver who used exactly one of each tyre that race, if my memory is serving correctly.
Nice.
Which
Probably Tobes.
well, yeah, but only used each tyre once. So here we go, last sector Indian Jesus coming through this final chicane. Not get caught out by the wall closing in on you. Don't get
while
caught
we were
going over the
discussing
line.
Tobes, Shu has gone provisional pole. 136.9. Indian Jesus improves massively for 136.9. Literally 0.0003 between them.
I think you had an extra 0 in there, but yeah.
They could have an extra 0.
Feels that close, doesn't it?
Oh, we got a yellow flag. I think it's the Red Bull. A 4-star. I think. I'm not overly sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna look on board. I'm on board with Nolsey. So he's setting his first lap on the soft tyres now.
It's not. Is it free fall? Did he get damaged there? No, free fall doesn't look like he's got any damage.
Right, here we go. Nolsey
Well, no, he
first
may
lap
have
on
done. I
the
don't think he's got any.
softs.
Has he got a wing? Yeah, he's got a wing.
Yeah, Freefall's got his wing. There's a Nolsey jumping him with his first lap time on the soft tyre.
Oh, I say, did you see that? I jumped on board with Nolsey then. He corner cut.
Well, I think he's on an in lap now, but you're still not meant to do that.
His fuel lights blinking. Gunter's not been putting enough fuel in the tank for him.
Right, let's try and find someone here. Farrell, purple, middle sector, 2 tenths green so far, although 8 tenths adrift of the 2 up front at the moment. Farrell, one of the 4, looking to be in the title battle. Had a string of good results. Not so much last week. Blew a potential win.
Scott! Oh, he was on a good run and he whiffed it. He kept controlling the car. But,
Right, so as I was saying, Farrell 5th fastest to 37.2. But yeah, no, Farrell was on for a win last week. There was a safety car that came out with essentially 3 laps to go, so 2 laps of racing, and he pit from first, and I think he finished 6th or 7th in the end when he should have been winning that one. Said he was kicking himself afterwards.
I can imagine.
But yeah, no, he's 4th in the title and only 24 points behind. Theoretically, he could leave this race leading the championship. What have we got
It
now?
is one of the closest seasons we've had for the majority of the leagues. It's not as if it's like spread. The
Yeah,
top
because
4 in the majority of the league.
They haven't even ran away with it that
close it.
much either. Because quite often you'll find you have, 2 or 3 drivers who run away with it. But actually you've got 4 drivers fully involved in the title, and a string of them who aren't even all that far behind. It doesn't feel like there's a huge gap between the top guys and everyone else.
You know what I am hoping for? I'm hoping for a last race shootout, and it's going to be one of them races where me and you are just going crazy down the comms.
What track have we got last?
It's Belgium. It's the last race of the season. I know,
Nice.
what a race to end it on. Are we going to get any "Here Comes Sebastian Vettel" moments? That's what we
Yep.
need to be asking ourselves.
Well,
on
we're
that
going to get
day.
any Schumacher Hakkinen moments.
Oh,
There's, what a track. Well, potential for rain as well. When I went to that track, it was raining a boatload. Luckily not on race day, but...
fair. I've got a clip from one of our days when we were doing obviously pre-season when you got to set your times to when it was one of the races to obviously get new boys into the league, and I had a Schumacher Hakkinen moment on one of the drivers of another driver. I've got it saved on my PlayStation somewhere. It was great.
Something I've just noticed, look at the 11th and 12th fastest drivers and their lap times.
Oh, they're equal.
They are, they're the same. Currently, I guess Dylan set the lap second, so the driver behind. Although actually I do know they measure it to more than 1,000th of a second, they just only show to 1,000th. Because if I change that to interval, oh no, it is still the same actually, gap. Sometimes it'll say the same lap time, but if you do gap to the leader, it'll be out by 1,000th.
Well, if anyone's wanting to now try and set, well, a majority of the drivers are out. There's still a few boys who are in the pit, but 2 minutes left on the clock. If anyone's wanting to do a last ditch attempt to try and take pole from Shu, now's the time, boys.
Yeah. Waitsy currently only man setting a lap as Hobbsy going for a pit lane retirement, looks like.
He must have been listening to what I said and he's gone, you know what, I'm happy where I am in 14th. I'm glad you are, mate, because I'm not.
Yeah, and of course Indian Jesus, second fastest time, he's still got that 5-second penalty. Did I'm going to understand, I think it was quite unfair to give him. Yeah, as it stands.
Bit of a bump there on the wall from Waitsy, and again, that's twice. That's going to cost him a couple of seconds.
Potentially some light wing damage as well. There's no actual parts come off the car. That doesn't mean it's not going to hurt its potential lap time. Here we go. Up into 7th, no longer tied on lap time. Right, Shu, half a 10th purple in the first sector. He's going to want to improve, find more time, but of course, even if he gets second fastest, even if he's not ahead of Indian Jesus, that doesn't actually matter. His closest rival at the moment is Ennis and Wardaddy. Indian Jesus essentially out of the picture in terms of being on the front row of the grid.
Well, that's the question. Does Shu know that Indian Jesus has this 5 grid place penalty? I don't think he does, because it's not anything to concern him about.
Yeah, well, I guess any of the drivers in the larger parties, they don't know who Shu parties with. So he's now nearly a 10th and a half purple. Would probably, you know, one of them seen it, spotted it, discussed it. I'm sure any of the boys with Indian Jesus will be aware of it. But it's how do you let it affect you?
Well, it can. Let's face it, it can get to you. But I think he's done enough now to rectify it and go, right, even though I've got that 5 grid place penalty, I'm in a comfortable position. P7's not too bad to start from. I think I started P7 on Monday.
First man to the line, Claire PR not improving. That is about
improve.
10th and a half roughly for him, a 36.8. Trying to find next man to the line. Is that McConey? It is McConey. McConey 5th fastest, 1:37.2. Next man, the Haas of Tigrev, one of our title fighters, a 36.9. Trying to find who will be the next man. It will be Waitsy.
It's Waitsy.
No, he's into the pits. It will not be Waitsy.
So it's an AlphaTauri next, so I think
that's Indian Jesus, who is invalidated his lap. So no improvement from him. Then onto the reserve, the McLaren of Dylan, who's also invalidated somewhere. Everyone pushing so hard. Liam, then the next man. Again, one of our title boys. What can he
do it? That's the question. P4.
P4, maybe not as good as he would have hoped, but not too shabby. Ennis up into P2.
That's the thing, though.
Provisional
our 2
front
championship
row for him.
leaders are now starting on the same line together, potentially.
Yeah, Cold Paradox saying P15, signing up to P6. So next man is Mr. Freefall, who gets ahead of Nolsey up into P18, and then was that Strauss into P2? Now that was not a name I was expecting up there, but Strauss up into P2. So I think Wardaddy unable to improve his time as he crosses the line. Next man is 4-star sitting P16 for the moment, 7,000th slower than his previous best. Nolsey. He jumps free fall again, the two of them keep chopping and changing, but Nolsey in the end ahead. Right, Farrell, no, into the pits for him. That's quali.
That's it, yeah.
Look how close the top boys are.
That was an interesting quali.
Didn't quite get a chance, but no one really far ahead of the rest of the field. All very, very close.
So yeah, Indian Jesus will start P9 thanks to that 5 grid place penalty.
Yeah, and he's just said 1:36.808, so I think he might have been on an invalidated lap that would have been up in pole. But yeah, look at those gaps. Well, like top 11 within half a second. But to run through the order, accounting for Indigenous penalty, Shu on pole, followed by Strauss, then Ennis and Tigriff next row, Wardaddy, Liam next row, then Steiny and Indian Jesus. I should need to run through quickly. Here's the rest of them. Ran out of time to speak. You can go back if it's that important.
We're in the point runners at least.
Yeah. Right, so yeah, we'll go through. I've got it up in front of me. So yeah, Shu, Strauss front row, then Ennis, Tigriff, as we said, Wardaddy, Liam, Steiny, Indian Jesus down to 9th. McConey, free fall. Sorry, what? McConey, Farrell, Waitsy, Dillon, DC, Hobbsy, Cold Paradox 4-star, Clerpiart, Knowlesy, Freefall, and Not Jack with his qualifying ban. Spent too much time talking and not enough time actually reading what all the lap times were. But yeah, that top 11 seems to be a bit ahead of the rest of the field. Maybe they're the only ones who got clean laps in. But the gap between 1st and 11th is smaller than the gap between 11th and 14th.
It's going to come down to them first few quarters here. Who's going to be brave enough to push it?
Yeah, but also, who's going to think, right, I know it's raining. Why would I push now? I'm going to save my wings, save my tyres, whatever. Make the most of what you've got available, play the long game. They're doing, the pit crew are doing that thing again when they just stand there T-posing.
I love it because they just stood there like, what is my purpose? Fix cars.
Enter programming. So they could be, the Ferrari pit crew could be using this time to help the strategists out.
Well, the drivers are all starting on dry compounds, so Scott's, what's it called, 14% rain at the start, so starting off as dry, so it's going to come down to who's brave enough to dive in fast.
Yeah, and who's, well, I was going to say stupid enough to dive in early. Miscalculated enough to dive in early, I think is the nicer term to our drivers. Of course, you don't want to be too late, you do not want to be too early. It's a game of bravery, but you do not want to be foolish with it either.
I mean, if you can call it, if you can make a decent dry to wet stop, you can get a massive advantage. It's just who's that brave one to do it fast, and is it too early? Is it too quick?
Yeah, and I think the important thing here is, are the mediums going to last long enough until the rain kicks in, or have those drivers, those 4 drivers, made a mistake? Strauss, Farrell, DC, and 4-star. Those are the 4 who've made that decision.
Well, I started on the hards on Monday, and I feel like hards is definitely the way forward.
Yeah, but we'll I guess we'll see how the rain affects that. Coming towards that corner where, was it Massa had that famous overtake? Centred at the inside.
Oh, we got a spin on the formation lap from Shu.
Wasn't looking at the screen, but I watched it back on the stream afterwards. I think it was Clerpiart. 2 rounds ago we caught him spin on the formation lap. Last round we didn't, but apparently he did again spin on the formation lap. So I wonder if he's managed to avoid the same trick this time around.
Well, then all 4 coming back now to start the grid. It's going to be an interesting race. I mean, rain, Singapore, donuts. What more could you want?
Oh yeah, and I'm sure Mr. Freefall, as always, seems to like giving us a small display of donuts somewhere. Probably going to be towards the end of the race, maybe when he makes a mistake somewhere. But always a driver who considers the crowd and not just the results. So yeah, Not Jack going to be a little bit out of position potentially. I just can't remember how fast he is. He is currently the only driver without a single championship point.
12 rounds in and no points?
I don't think he's been here since day 1. Or round 1, sorry.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough then. There's 5 lights out, they're up there, and away we go. It's a very quick start to the race from the lights. Wasting no time getting this race underway.
Oh, I've done a boo-boo. Right. T-Griff immediately up from 4th, up into 2nd. As flying down the order is Ennis, down 4 positions as Farrell is up 4 positions. Indian Jesus not making the most of the fact he's quicker than the drivers around him as side by side go. Oh, free fall and Wardaddy actually coming together there. Another driver in the wall as well, the Aston Martin of Real DC. Both him and Wardaddy suffering massively down the order. Wait to see as well, I see a front wing somewhere. I think the bottom 4 drivers all heavily affected. Who's missing front wings? That's a damaged front wing on the Mercedes. The Red Bulls looks okay. But yeah, no, Shoot still leading the way here.
Well, the biggest loser from those first few corners, unfortunately, was Wardaddy. Dropped 12 positions.
Him and Liam side by side. Him on the inside didn't quite catch the full thing. And I do wonder if it was just a mistake on his part, pushing too hard side by side, or if that was contact that led to that happening.
Possibly one for the stewards to decipher over tomorrow night.
Oh, hang on. Eddie's going a bit deep there. McConey making a fool of him, and maybe even his teammate a little bit. Is Steiny. Yeah, also getting ahead. Ennis 2 positions, lost in 2 corners, and he's gone round. Oh, nobody's held it. He's giving the drivers behind the scare, perhaps.
Boys, come on.
It's Dylan and Indian Jesus here fighting for P9. Both of them we know are fast. Dylan, we've only seen him perform once on track, but a podium, so 100% podium rate thus far. Can't be too bad, can you?
Well, she's setting the time for everyone to beat. It's 1 minute 45.4.
Yeah. Dylan's teammate for today showing what should be done.
Well, with that rain potentially incoming, he may have just bagged himself a fastest lap point.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. I hadn't even considered that. The fastest lap point might be up on offer when quite often it's kind of the guys at the back get bored and just go for it anyway and take away any chance you have
back
of
in
getting
2 seconds, dude.
Yep. This battle going on here. Farrell Strauss for P3. Farrell presumably up the inside into that corner, and DRS not yet enabled, making it all the more impressive being early days. Yeah, he looks pretty secure in that one. But our 4 championship contenders all currently sitting in the top 6. T-Griff championship leader Liam, 2 points drift of him. McConey currently down in P6, but he's only 13 points behind. So 3rd in the championship, 13 points behind the leader, and then Farrell, who we're watching at the moment. And he said in purple sectors. Further down the field, battles still going on. Club Yard under threat from 4-star behind one of the 4 drivers who started on the mediums. A few others are pitted on to the mediums, I think. One of the 3 went into the pits, did pit onto mediums from mediums. I cannot remember which driver that was. This is the fastest lap being traded amongst some of the drivers. And DRS now enabled. There is that warning. Go down through the first few corners. Club PR perhaps a little bit offline there. Giving 4-star very good opportunity to go for a move. Is he going to wait for the DRS zone? Might be better to do so. Try and force Club PR to have a bad exit. It looks like he's managed that much. DRS, ERS flying down the straight and looking to get the move done easily. Loads of overspeed, and that is him up into P11.
Back Bluey for the win. The person's best friend, Bluey.
And it's nearly making the same mistake he made earlier with one of the 2 Alpines with Indian Jesus. In the end, making it work, fending off that driver.
So that's the battle for our 2 championship leaders. So T-Griff's in P2 and Liam's in P5.
But also, Farrell P3, McConey P6. So our top 4 drivers are all within the top 6 positions at the moment.
Oh, this is what we want to see.
This is.
It's anyone's game. Anyone's game with 4 rounds left to go.
Now my question, I think it is technically possible that they all leave this race tied on points. Now it's not going to happen, but imagine.
Oh mate, it'd be great.
Everyone have a four-way going into round 16. All of them tied on points. One race, whoever wins it gets it. That'll be the dream. As I think
just sat patiently waiting for the rain. Because it's gonna be carnage when it comes down.
Absolutely.
Someone's gonna see that speck of rain. They're gonna be gotta come in. And it's just gonna be nuts.
Yeah. Well, at the moment I'm keeping an eye on the fact Tigriff currently being hunted down by Farrell and Strauss on the medium tyres. No DRS from Shoe to help
I'm glad you're
them
saying
out.
that because I'm on board with this as well.
Actually, at the moment it's Strauss who's threatening Farrell. Is he going to go for a move here or not? Surely he is. Yeah, he is. Up the inside. No contact, please. Yep. Okay, good.
Tell you what though, Tigriff has burnt through the majority of his ERS. He's down to 25%.
Ah, but so is Farrell. Equally low. Strauss though holding on to his, playing the long game for the moment. As Wardaddy said in fastest lap down in P18. Clearly heard you say it matters more when you're in the drive for fastest lap. Deciding to try and get it nice and early. I think this battling going on, allowing Liam to close up just that little bit more to the back of Strauss.
Oh, it's a great battle up front.
I shouldn't say not so many other battles going on, but actually looking down the field, there are some very close time gaps, even as far down as DC. I think he's about to overtake Hobbsy for P19. Here we go. The battle we all wanted. Yep. P19 battle.
Ooh. Tell you what, if these boys keep battling like they're doing up top, McConey's going to get dragged into this battle in a minute.
Yeah, which will happily do so, catch his title rivals. Now, my question is, I didn't start a kind of timer as to when the race was. 44% in 15 minutes, 80%. Oh, we've got a yellow. That is for Waitsy further down the order.
Yeah, I don't know if he's just made a collision with the wall. He's got damage.
I would have a look, but at the moment, Farrell right at the tail of Tigriff. If you can have a look at that one yourself.
Yeah, I'm down with Waitsy at the minute, but it looks like he hasn't got damage, but I think he may have just lost control and tapped the wall, so he may have light wing damage.
Ooh, minor contact.
Pitted, so
Farrell argy-barging his way past Tigriff, who also loses his position out to Strauss. Very aggressive move there. Tigriff not going to be happy with that one. Seeing now under some minor threat from Liam. Liam, of course, not going to go for a move here.
Now here comes Liam.
Hang on, I think I see some raindrops.
Oh, that's what we want to hear. Wet Singapore is what we want to see.
We know it's coming eventually.
Another yellow flag.
Oh, that's Indian Jesus.
And it's Indian Jesus. Oh, it's just going from bad to worse for him today.
Yeah, still with his front wing. Doesn't mean it's not damaged though.
No.
But yeah, that's a shame for him. There's actually a raindrop on the camera here, so it definitely is starting to rain. Actually, yeah, I can see it coming down a bit more now.
The question is, which one of these boys is going to be the first one to go? Nope.
Yeah.
I'm coming in.
Ooh.
And Jack's picked up a 3-second time penalty as well. The first penalty of the evening, 5 laps in.
Yeah, I don't know how easy it is to avoid getting penalties around this track.
It's mainly the back section of the track where you can really pick up penalties. As you come out of the short DRS zone.
Yeah, well, the stewards.
That's where you can really get them.
Stewards' notes said we're monitoring turn 1, 2, 14, and 23.
There's a lot of opportunity for you to run wide and gain an advantage in those corners.
Yeah, we will have.
Oh, here comes the rain. Here we go. I can see it clear as day on my screen. Who's going to be brave?
I don't think anyone just yet. You'd be foolish at this point.
I don't know. We've seen crazier things in this league.
Free fall doesn't count though.
Oh, okay, fair enough. No, that rain is starting to come down quicker and heavier. It's not going to be long before these boys need to think, right, I do need to come in.
Yeah, I think the drivers on mediums are making the right choice here in the end. Because you don't need the tyres for that long. I mean, once you see rain, you're like, right, why preserve them? Burn through that rubber, get it out of the way. and get on to the
Now the
Inters.
question is it so? Obviously, Scott, our little fly on the walls, told us that it's going to be 44% chance for a while, and then eventually it's going to go to 80% chance 30 minutes in. The question is, are we going to have to see the full wets come out at some point as well?
Well, I imagine this race is going to be slightly longer than half an hour, so I suspect we probably will get to 80%. Some drivers not very comfortable on the Inter tyres might just opt to go to the wets earlier, even if they are still slightly slower. Some drivers, you know, I might be, I don't know, half a second a lap slower, but if I'm less likely to spin, in the end it makes it worth it. We're about to see Indian Jesus go for a move on Knowlesy. Interesting track limits there. Has he got it? Side by side. Oh, and hang on, Not Jack's having to have a look here. Side by side, Not Jack and Knowlesy. Knowlesy on the inside, Not Jack on the outside. Has he got the move complete? Not just yet, both of them with that DRS. So there's also a battle going on for P4. We'll hop on board with. Now that has settled down a little bit. I think Liam passed T-Griff up into P4 there. Just caught the tail end of that one.
Now, ideally, Liam needs to finish above T-Griff. Start clawing some points back.
I hadn't even considered that. Yeah, it's those two are fighting for the title.
Yeah.
2 points separating them currently. Half a second separating them on the track. Well, actually, a slower corner exit. Oh, who's this? That's
flag.
Steiny.
Is it? Oh, what's happened? Is that track getting wet?
Yeah, she hadn't even considered that, but Steiny on the exit of that corner there. Quite a heavy traction zone. Slotting into.
It's not a nice corner.
Hang on. I was going to say slotting into P12. Jack's getting opportunistic. Oh, and it's cost him.
Oh, and he's in the wall.
That's a wing gone. That is definitely a wing gone.
Is it a VSA or is it a full safety?
That's a safety car. Oh, it's a VSA. Sorry, right.
No, it's VSA.
Right, does
now the
anyone
question
pit?
is, do the boys come in?
Oh, Strauss has. Strauss blinked.
Strauss blinked. Did he take the line perfectly?
I wasn't watching.
Well, I'm on board with him now. What's he going for tyre-wise? He is...
Alpha's
all at the far end, isn't it?
Into the pits. There's Mercedes coming in. Don't know where it end up.
Looks like a set of Inters.
Ooh, it is. Yeah, I've seen 3 drivers come into the pits so far. Not Jack in the pit entry, although we saw him shatter his front wing, so I guess that makes sense now I think about it.
Yeah, we've got 2 drivers on Inters now as Clark does the same thing in the Mercedes.
Interesting to see what Not Jack will go on to, given he is pitting initially for the front wing, but he might choose to go on to Inters at the same time. Yes, he is. Inters waiting for him in the garage.
Oh, it's a free stop. It's starting to rain. If he gets some heat into the tyres now, when it really does start chucking it down shortly, he's going to be alright. Yeah, everybody else ahead of him still got to pit, so
in agreement.
It'd be silly if he didn't.
Actually, if the rain starts getting heavier now, if the heavens open up, Strauss in a very good position as McConey actually going deep there. I think the rain affecting more than some of these drivers might have been expecting. And I think those who put under the VSC might have done a good one. Oh, yeah, actually, just watching McConey drive around, you can see the effect it's having.
I'll tell you what, it looks like it's not affecting Shu at all. The man's going.
Yeah, although it did have more. Oh, another one. Indian Jesus had a spin in the same place that Steiny did.
Yeah, it's time for Inters, boys.
Yeah, I think Strauss has done himself well here. Actually, yes, hop on board with Strauss and see how he's faring compared to those around him. That man definitely had more traction on the exit of that corner.
Shu has decided to pit. I can only assume he's coming for Inters, and Farrell has stayed out to take the lead of the race.
Oh yeah, no, Strauss is just faster than everyone else. Inters are the tyre to be on. If Strauss overtakes in a place you simply do not overtake on. So let's see where he comes out compared to the other drivers. Because that'd be interesting. Well, where does Shu end up compared to Strauss, who made this decision to pit under VSC? And has he just got himself all the way up into the lead?
Pit stop for the McLarens. Both coming in, and no delay at all.
Yeah, that, you know what, that's Strauss' net lead. Very well done, that man.
Massively well played.
Now Farrell, he was sitting just behind Shu. How far is he going to fall this lap?
find out. He's got a little bit of a lead on the Ferrari, but it's not a lot. But the thing is, they've both got to come in. That's the thing.
Yeah, and
Strauss is the
got
next
to
one,
go
which
in.
is hunting them down.
See, he's so cautious on the power.
Top 5 drivers all still on dry compound tyres.
And Waitsy as well, he's already losing out, yeah.
And then Rio DC down in 17th. And then that is it. Everybody else has switched to the inters. Farrell doesn't seem to be being phased by the rain at all. He's doing amazing.
Oh, is he at free fall there, having a small moment on his hard tyres. Strauss just picking up another one.
Losing position to Strauss.
Although you say that, Farrell is actually losing a little bit of time to Liam.
But he's staying out still. He's not come in.
Is he not? Ooh.
No, he's going for another lap.
Liam
Man,
is
clearly knows
into the
something we
pits. Liam in T-Riff in Ennis is in freefall and Waitsy actually too far down to see just yet. 4-star leaving the session.
What, if Farrell had, if he could do another lap out on the dries, he is going to have a massive. I think he's going for a free pit. If he can build that gap between him and Strauss, but Strauss is now going to be hunting him down.
Well, let's keep an eye on that. Currently 22.5. Let's see what happens with that gap.
As it stands, Farrell will get a free pick. So I think it takes around about 20 seconds to complete a stop around here, doesn't it?
Honestly, don't know. Waitsy also chose to not pit. Although was just overtaken by Shu. You know what? Farrell is actually keeping that gap fairly equal.
The rain is getting heavier. That track's getting wetter. There's only so much longer these mediums can hold out. Now he's in that awful corner. Is he going to spin?
Ooh.
No, but he did look. He lost his back end a little bit there.
Yeah, I mean you can hear just the way he's having to use the gears there. I mean he's now starting to lose a bit more time to these boys.
Apparently 4-stars rejoined. He's got a bit of an internet issue. Hopefully he sorts that out soon.
Yeah, Farrell running deep there.
Yeah, Farrell's losing his back end now. Let's face it, he needs to come in this lap.
Yeah. Losing time, he's already lost more than a second. Just wait, see, losing another one. How did you see lightning?
And he is, he's in lightning.
I thought I saw some lightning off in the distance.
I think I've only ever had one race where I've had lightning, thunder and lightning. Ever. I know it's a thing, but never really truly seen it.
I might be making this up. I thought I saw something. It could have just been a light that flashed past.
Right, the question is now, has Farrell done enough to get out in front of Strauss? Strauss is coming.
No, he's not.
And,
but where is he compared to Shu as well? No, he's behind Shu.
And he rejoins, could potentially be P4 if Liam can get round quick enough, and he...
Oh, hang on. It's top mod McConey getting a nice view of it. His tyre's going to be cold here. Liam will have the advantage in terms of grip. Yeah, Liam holding that P3. So there's a yellow flag for... I don't even know what it's for. It's almost as if it's for Waitsy going into the pits. But here we go. The rain not phasing their ability to battle. Farrell trying to go around the outside of Liam. Liam having none of it though, going a little bit deep, perhaps leaving himself open for a move here. Going slow enough though, McConey getting right on the tail of these two. Half a second separating the three of them at one point through that corner. Nose to tail completely here. In spite of the weather, in spite of how much more treacherous the track is going to be for the moment. And Liam actually seems to be struggling quite a lot. I think the wet suiting Farrell's driving style a lot. Perhaps not his strategic thinking, but if he's got the pace, well, that doesn't matter.
Setup as well.
Oh, well, that's an excellent
Setup's
point.
obviously playing a big thing. Because Liam and Farrell, by the looks of it, are starting to leave McConey behind a bit. Not a lot, but it just looks like them two are a bit faster than the Alpine, especially on the straights.
Yeah, actually, no. I've just noticed. Our title battlers, P3, 4, 5 and 6 currently, 3 of them we're watching battle at the moment, Liam, Farrell and McConey.
Yeah. It won't be long until Griff joins in the battle.
Yeah, these two.
Because he's slowly catching up.
When we say championship battle, we mean it. Yeah.
I say it's all going to heat up again in the next round, which is coming up, which is Austria.
Ooh. The DRS train
the
track.
Red Bull Ring. I've already started putting my practice laps around for Monday.
Is that a spin by Ennis? No, that is a pit by Ennis. Now, is that a front wing? Oh, he's butchered the entry of that pit. Actually lost his front wing on his entry into the pits. Right, I'm keeping an eye on that Farrell time gap, but let's see, what is he in the pits for? I see new inters, I see a new front wing.
Ooh.
But he's not going on to the wets just yet.
It's getting bad to worse for Aston Martin.
Yeah, now Ennis is just a reserve. I don't know how late he was called up, how much warning he had that he was going to be racing today. CRL usually pretty good at giving them a decent heads up. Well, he had 2 hours before the start of qualifying, at least. Probably would have known beforehand. Actually, yeah, no, he knew since about midday. So depending on how busy his day was, might have had plenty of time to practice. As Farrell...
Now, it does look like there's a dry... You can see where the boys are going around the track, where obviously the track marks are. You can see it trying to dry out slowly.
This is something I want to point out. Farrell is slowly being dropped by Liam, but the gap between McConey and T-Griff is dropping by about a second a lap, and that is entirely just, I don't know, set up, driver skill, whatever it is. T-Griff is simply quicker than the guys ahead of him.
Because we've still got just under 20 laps to go, and still a lot more action and drama to come yet, mate. It's
Yeah, where's my safety car? I was promised chaos.
I was going to say, we need one. We've got rain, we've got the first part of it. Scott, if you're listening, there's a wall to the left of you, mate.
I'm feeling really fancy there's a car to the right of you as well.
Yeah. Now, if that happened then, I'd feel really bad. And, no, that's it, I just feel really bad, I don't think I feel anything else. Nah, we love our tier boy 2s on a Thursday evening. I certainly look forward to it.
Oh yeah, always. Well, I've been here 2.5 years, you'd hope I'd enjoy it. Ooh, T-Griff within that 1 second gap for all of one time split.
I think McConey's going to be pushing for a move shortly on Farrell though. Just every corner, McConey's slowly catching, but then Farrell's getting away on the straight.
And T-Griff just getting in on all of them everywhere.
Yeah.
A few corners where he did lose. Last lap he struggled a little bit through that last left hand at 22-23. Or is it 23-24? Whichever corners it is. Just nearly dinks it into the wall there.
It's quite a calm Singapore race at the moment though.
Yeah, I'm thinking that. It feels...
scratches.
Given the rain and the just chaos and how close this is, it's very serene. Kind of, it feels very laid back for Singapore.
Very laid back for tier 2.
Yeah. Yes, driver's playing it cautious, although wait, see right on the tail of Indian Jesus. Let's see if anything happens there. We're also keeping the gap on an eye on this Liam Farrell gap, so don't want to miss anything.
I've got eyes on the championship battle for you.
Yeah, ooh, Red Bull nearly the back of an AlphaTauri. There's a Ferrari deep down. I think freefall Indian Jesus wait seat about to get into a little bit of a scrap here. Are we going to see a move going to the outside? No, not enough. Can he get a better exit, or is it going to be... It is a bit compromised there onto the curb. What can Waitsy do from behind? Not a whole lot, apparently. Just still keeping him under pressure, reminding him he's just there, hoping for a mistake, seeing what he can do. This T-Griff is now, right closed up for that P6. Oh, hang on, and induces a mistake there, keeps it at the wall, very well caught by him. That is a free position for Waitsy. Yes, the pressure get into the AlphaTauri driver, who already is not having the best race weekend.
No, it's gone from bad to worse for Indian Jesus, it has to be said.
Right, Coney's got a little bit of a run here on Farrell. Can he go for P4? He's seen a little bit back there.
Oh, sees up from the Ferrari a little bit. Not a lot to put him off his game, and he's away.
Yeah.
To be fair, Farrell is pretty much out of ERS. He's on 11% at the minute, and he's using it again to try and hunt down the Ferrari.
Now,
the lower that reserve gets.
Me not paying attention, and maybe you as well, Shu has caught up with Strauss. That gap was around about 2.5 seconds, has come down to just half a second, so we'll have to try and make sure we keep an eye on that one.
Maybe worth jumping on board with them for a bit, to be fair, because we've give the championship runners a fair bit of limelight. Let's take a look at these two.
Yeah, well, I imagine given Shu was able to catch, I don't know how easy it is to overtake in the rain here, but he showed he was capable of lapping quicker than the Alfa Romeo ahead of him. Excuse me, trying to not yawn. Actually, hang on, who's got fastest lap? War Daddy down in P16, okay.
And that's pretty much who's going to be walking away with it now.
Well,
that is pretty much his at this point.
Yeah. If he can get into the top 10, he gets like one more point. As T-Griff, hang on, that gap's quite low to McConey. Coney running deep to defend his position. What could T-Griff do? I think he is now being held up because the two ahead, Farrell and McConey, are pulling away. Sorry, Farrell, Liam up are pulling away from McConey. T-Griff, just looks so much more comfortable in these conditions. The way he's getting on the power, just being so much more patient and making it still more effective. They're very cautious to the last corner, and that's costing him potential overtaking place into turn 1. Slim and Farrell are starting to spread out a little bit. I'm disappointed the rain isn't getting heavier. One more rep.
Well, Farrell did say 30 minutes in it should get to 80%. Not Farrell, Freefall, sorry.
What was it? Well, it was 44% after 15 minutes, 80% after 30 minutes. I don't know when the 30-minute mark is going to be. Not there just yet, I think.
While let's go yet for at the 30-minute mark.
Can't be too far off.
Well, it's about 1 minute 40 in the dry to get round this track.
Oh,
it's going to easily be about 1 minute 50.
Maybe it is then.
Wet. So, 2, 6, 8, 10, 20. We're looking at around about, well, probably about now, yeah, actually.
Right, so lead battle, Shu. Can he go for something here? He's got a little bit of overspeed coming out of the last corner. I don't think he's near enough. He's got more ERS to burn through. Strauss is actually choosing to burn more than him. Maybe he's just going to play the waiting game.
It does look like that rain is getting heavier now as well, actually.
Yeah, I think some parts of the track are wetter than others. So we'll have to see.
Definitely the starting sector.
Ooh, is that an overtake? Was that a mistake?
Oh, it's a yellow flag. Oh, what we got? Is it a VSC?
Who's that for?
I think it's either the Mercedes. Hang on. Either Clark, Steiny or Knowlesy, I think, caused this one. And 4-star has decided to jump into the pit. What is he going to go with?
More inters. And a new front wing.
Fresh inters.
So maybe
So it must be
he was the man who
that
brought
caused it.
out, yeah. We'll blame him. Green flag.
We're racing again.
It's fairly short VSC.
She would not have been happy at the fact that there was a VSC, because obviously losing a bit of time to Strauss on the restart. And Ennis picking up a 3-second time penalty. He's down in 20th, so I think at this point it's just kick him while he's down, why don't you?
Oh, hang on. That guy. Oh, no. I thought I saw a spinner, but it wasn't smoke. It was just spray from the
Oh, right.
the wet track. I guess the spray.
I don't want to sound evil, but because of the rain, I'm patiently awaiting someone to plough into the wall.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm with you. Want to spice up the race a little bit.
Oh, 100%. I don't get me wrong, I want all 20 drivers to cross the line, but I also want to see some carnage. Come on, it's Singapore. It's wet. This is what we watch the Singapore Grand Prix for in real life.
There's a few people picking up penalties, actually. A couple of overtakes there we missed in the final sector. Watching all the wrong time gaps.
3 seconds.
Oh, hang on. Someone's about to get into the pits there. Who was that? That was Knowlesy? Yeah, Knowlesy. Into the pits for him.
Are you going to see some wets, or is it going to be another set of inters?
Ooh, huge moment there for Strauss. Caught it amazingly well. Giving it look like he was about to spear off into the wall.
Fresh set of inters for Knowlesy.
Where did Strauss... Oh, Strauss qualified P2. Somehow I thought he was lower down when he started.
No, he had a blinding qualifier.
Yeah, no, amazing qualifying. Stroke of genius in terms of strategy. Not to be mean to him as a driver, but definitely punching above his weight at the moment, doing himself very proud of where he's sitting.
Where is he currently in the championship? That's the
I was just thinking of that. P6, 51 points adrift of the leaders.
Oh, win the Arrows.
And
Boost that.
what is he? He's 14 points ahead, shooing the title at the moment. Although they're 6th and 8th respectively. That is an overtake. Oh, hang on. Steiny and Clerpiard are having a meeting with the ball.
Oh, there it is.
I think I saw some front wing back there. Steiny letting Clerpiard back through.
They've all got their wings still intact.
Yeah, not sure what caused that. Was not paying enough attention, I'll be honest. Didn't see until after I saw that the times were doing weird things. Still trying to keep an eye on this lead battle, waiting for Shu to do something other than just sit there and wait.
Said, very, very tame Singapore.
Yeah, I might have to start our own band to fill in the slots. Oh, is Shu nearly having a moment there, actually. Maybe we won't need to do some awful singing on the stream to keep it entertaining after all.
Ooh, Mark with Clark. Yeah, that rhymes. Kind of losing its back end a little bit.
Yeah, let's see. Hang on, McConey somewhere has ditched T-Griff by 4 seconds. Was that a mistake from the Haas driver? Because at one point he was gaining massive time.
Pit,
no, that was the other Haas, that was Knowlesy. So at one point Liam, Farrell, McConey and T-Griff.
16% ERS. Maybe he's backed off to build himself up some.
I think he must have just fluffed a lap somewhere. Is there a... It doesn't show you last lap, does it? It's like he's locking it up there. Maybe the conditions not favouring him too much as War Daddy and Free Fault there swapping positions. Although War Daddy currently sitting with that 3-second time penalty, one of 3 drivers in that situation.
Well, the Tier 1 boys are getting ready to kick off, and one of them in their chat has said that if it rains they protest.
No protest. Well, I'm disappointed. We're 20 laps in and no one has done more than 2 pit stops. There's Hobbsy dinking the wall just there. Oh, and hang on, what's DC doing here? Having a little moment on the corner. Don't know if he caught his rear on the apex itself or what. Yeah, it's not costing him too much.
Strauss is slowly getting away from Shu as well, and it's all very tame.
Yeah. No one though replicating the Tobes 10 stop. I believe he was in a McLaren at the time.
There's still time, bud. There's still time.
Oh,
Enough laps to go.
There's enough laps.
All it takes is for Indian Jesus to spin out a couple more times. It's just tame. It's so tame.
I want more rain. I want more crashes. And I want more pit stops. And maybe even a safety car, if you're really willing. Last week I said no safety car, no VSC. Had one within 2 seconds. This week I'm asking for one. And it's not coming.
It's just not coming.
It's
We've had
not.
2 VSCs at least.
Yeah. You got to get the field bunched up though with VSCs. Well, it's nice to the drivers, but us commentators.
That's what we need. We need a safety car to get them all bunched together, let the track get wet, and then watch them spin around like Bambi on ice.
Yeah,
that's what we want.
He's starting. He's got himself up into P9 past Clerc PR. We seem to be missing all the action just after it's happening, or at least I am. I don't know what you're seeing.
I'm kind of on board with Griff at minute, seeing if he can catch up, but
that gap's getting bigger actually, isn't it? Compared to when I last saw it.
This is what I'm saying. I'm just keeping an eye on everyone's ERSs, and everyone, apart from the top 2, are literally burning through their ERS. So, the 3 that we were talking about, Liam, Farrell, Bacody and Griff, have just gone, you know what, let's burn through our ERS and get down dirt low. And Dylan and Shu and Strauss are like, nope, we've not used ours.
Ooh, what has happened there? That is an overtake for the lead that we managed to miss after waiting ages for it. Shu is past Strauss. And we need new cameramen, i.e. me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just here for the ride.
Just here to natter along. Right now, let's keep an eye on that gap.
Shu has used the ERS though, I think, to gain the position. He's dropped to 56. He was on about 76 a minute ago. You know what? I'm going to pop down and see the bottom 3 because there's not much of a gap there between them, so there could be some action down here.
Yeah, actually, 4-star kind of right on the tail of. Well, it's that DC Hobbsy 4-star, isn't it? About a second between the 3 of them.
Ennis is just gone. Ennis and Waitsy miles behind.
Yeah, well, they're not miles and miles. Not been laps just yet. Where are they compared to the leader? About a minute 28 down. There are
10
some
laps left to go, though.
Gaps. Yeah, it's when you look at it, kind of 7th to 8th position, 11 seconds separating them. The top 7, very solid gap over the rest of the field. And they're all kind of a bit close until there's another jump with Nolsey further down the order. Someone make some drama. Normally I do alright, but it just feels like such an empty race. It is literally just the guys at the front are staying at the front.
Yeah.
A few overtakes every now and then, but no one too close together. Farrell's still on the tail of Liam. That's been the same story since Liam.
I mean, I know we're sat here waiting for drama, but to be fair, it's been a very, very clean race.
Oh yeah. Well, with the exception of early days, we saw War Daddy have a coming together with...
Right at the start.
Who was that with? I can't remember. Actually, speak of the man, War Daddy has just got past Indian Jesus. It wasn't Indian Jesus who spun him, was it? That'd be a funny one. This 4-star past Hobbsy up into P17. Hobbsy now in a Red Bull sandwich. Admittedly, one Red Bull quite far down the road. I think 4-star might
but
be...
we do... Aston, Real DC has spun.
not
he's
DC.
stopped on track at minute.
Must be Ennis, because it's not Real DC.
Is it not? No, I'm sorry, it's Real DC.
I'm currently in 4-star's car right behind DC. They're having a battle.
You sure, mate? Because according to my screen, DC's by himself.
No, he's got 2 cars right behind him. Happily in P16.
That's 4-star. That's 4-star and Hobbsy. DC's 19th, mate.
Wait, he's 19th. No, you got DC 4-star Hobbsy, 16, 17, 18, and they're all nice having a battle. Waitsy 19,
Ennis is 20th, DC at 19th, then Waitsy.
What? You're seeing differently to me then. DC's quite happy in 16th. Apparently. He's still driving away, he's not in the wall.
What's going on? Because according to this... Oh, now he's 16th.
Oh, there we go.
Well, we wanted drama, we got it. It wasn't on the track, it was in the comms box.
Good old Codemasters. So, 8 laps now remaining. Ooh, and Hobbsy's had a moment. Ah, say ah. Good save, Hobbsy. Would have been nice if you lost your tyre. But yeah, very well saved. Didn't get into the wall. I think he managed to do it in such a way he didn't get damage to the wing or to the tyres, of course, which is how you mostly DNF.
We're positive, not found more chicken curry.
So I'm debating if I want to have a chicken curry later. I got one in the freezer at the moment. But
oh, do it, mate. Needs to be done.
I think I made it like a month ago as well, so needs eating eventually.
So long as it's frozen, it's all good.
You'd hope. Indian Jesus mistake somewhere goes very deep, or a spin. I'm not sure what it was, but either way, we saw freefall get past Nolsey.
Is it me, or is the
slightly
rain
closer?
stopped?
It has. I don't think it stopped completely, but it's certainly calmed down a little bit. Let's have a look. Strauss is now 2 seconds behind Shu. I think unless... Oh, Steiny's made a mistake. No, Steiny's into the pits. Ah, okay. Is this Steiny thinking there'll be a dry line for him
what
soon?
an overtake from 4-star.
As DC leaves the session. But yes, Steiny is onto the mediums.
Ooh, is he thinking how I was thinking?
Quite maybe, as that is a Indian Jesus mistake in the last sector. Don't know what the cause of that one was. It's 3 seconds, the time penalties for Waitsy down in P19.
Now, I'm curious what Steiny's going to be able to do on these mediums on this track at minute.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on how he's doing compared to those around him. Oh my goodness. Maybe a touch early. Because that is a man who's just lost nearly 2 seconds to Indian Jesus in one straight.
Well, he's out on the points. I think he was just trying to be ambitious.
Yeah.
Fair play to the guy.
You've got to try, don't you?
Exactly.
Out the points, nothing to lose. Now I'm noticing this P9 gap is getting quite small. Clerpiar under threat from Cole Paradox. Really under threat from him now. He can't go for a move here, surely. But can threaten him as he run him deep, nearly into the back of the Mercedes car there. Giving us a nice close-up view of that sponsor on the rear wing. Steiny dropping another position.
Down now.
And another. Yeah, just staying out of the way of the drivers at this point.
To be fair though, in parts of the track it is starting to dry out, so I understand why I went for the mediums. Maybe the hards would have been the better choice.
Well, to be fair, I think another few laps might have been the best choice.
Right, and that.
It's a risk it made sense to take when he was that far down. But yeah, not paying off in the end.
Well, it makes sense to do it when you're down and out of the points. You know you've got nothing to lose. You might as well try because you never know, it may pay off. Indian Jesus picking up another 3 second time penalty.
Yeah, there's a potential battle going on here. Clerpiar Cole Paradox looked for the move, didn't quite go for it in the end. The Steiny is staying out. Deciding to double down on this decision, not to pit, just hope it works in the end. If there's a safety car and they all dive in for dry compounds, he is in a potentially good situation there. And that is Indian Jesus out.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Oh,
here we go. Here we go. I missed it. Did he got some wall?
He's in the wall. I think the front right gone there. Now, is that any kind of safety car VSC, or is that
Considering
just...
where he is, it should be a safety car.
It is
but
not.
No, in Codemasters.
Oh, hang on. What's this? Sector 2. No. No safety car in the end. Did not see the cause of that one. Saw the wall he was in.
It is a massive shame for it. Indian Jesus' day just went from bad to worse to terrible.
Yeah, I mean, that unlucky penalty in qualifying that, I mean, he couldn't have really done much about. He was trying to get out of the way. Weird he wasn't ghosted, not really his fault there. And then an unlucky starters. Oh my goodness, that is 2 drivers. That is Clerpiar and not Jack, I believe, pulling into the pit lane. Wartad actually following his teammate Clerpiar in. This may be a slight double stack.
Oh, we got some
for those
softs
two
coming out for Clap.
Are they double stacked? Slightly, but like half a second.
And it's mediums for his teammate, which is War Daddy. The dry tyres are starting to come back on now, so maybe, just maybe, Steiny was onto something.
Yeah, might have jumped the gun a little bit, but the idea seems, well, likely it'll pay its dividends at some point.
Dry, wet to dry. It's not often it happens, but when it does, it's always good fun.
Yeah, although at the moment Forced are driving around these guys on dry compounds like they're not even there. Oh, I haven't said that. Contact. No, he's defended.
3 second time penalty for Ennis, but I don't think it's really going to bother him at this point. Clark going wide on what? Oh, hang on, there's a yellow flag sector 1. It's one of the Astons.
That is Ennis, I think. Now nearly being lapped to those boys. Farrell also now into the pit lane, but surely it's too late. Is it even worth it now?
It's time to take them off.
Well, there's only 4 laps left. Well, 5.
What can happen in 5 laps? You should know this better than anyone.
Oh, yeah. But as they're not quite quick enough yet, you may as well just hold out. I don't think the tyres are going to get too shredded.
Well, a lot of the other, even the top runners are all coming in. They're all trying to go for that fastest lap as well, I think.
Yeah, actually that track is looking drier and drier by the second. Even off the dry lines looking slightly drier.
Now, it all comes down to them top 3 boys. I'm going to jump on board with Shu. He's had an amazing race, all race.
Yeah. Now he's got time to pit and come out ahead of Farrell. But is he safe enough and happy enough here? Does he even need to? Because he's got half a minute down to the closest dry runner. More than. There's a host more cars there. Load more cars coming into the pits. Nolsey Free fall, 4-star. Wait, see,
There's
that
a
is
yellow flag of
yellow.
sector 1.
I think that is free fall actually spinning on the exit of the pit lane.
Oh no, free fall.
Yeah, that gap between Farrell and Liam not coming down enough.
And it's
hang
retired.
on. Ah, okay. Pit lane retirement is alright, that's not a safety car.
Yeah.
We've got 4 laps remaining. I just don't think Farrell's going to catch the top 3.
Still feel like there's something that's going to happen. DRS has been enabled.
There we go. Usually the telltale.
Strauss is desperately hunting down Shu. Liam is trying to hunt down Strauss.
But I mean, look at the size of that gap. It's just too much.
Those inters are not going to be like being on that dry track. That is the only thing. But like you said a minute ago, 3 laps, is it worth it?
What do you say?
Shu's going to be thinking, I don't want to come in because these boys will take me. And the other 2 boys are thinking, I'll wait and see what Shu does before I come in.
There's well, I want to have a look. There's a battle going on at the moment for P8. Does Shu come into the pit lane? No, he does not.
Strauss is, though.
Strauss is. I think that's almost too late to do that.
That's a poor judgment.
Should have done it a few laps ago or later, yeah.
That's the golden egg that Farrell's been waiting for. Can Strauss get out before Liam? I think he is. I think he's got a free pit.
We'll see. Might be close. Not sure how his tyres will be feeling. Oh, it is going to be close.
Softs versus used softs.
No, he's ahead. Actually, did I also just see a penalty for someone? Strauss now on the threat from McConey
also
behind
lost
as well.
another position to McConey. McConey trying to get past, but Strauss defending, and I think there's the contact. I'm certain that's contact.
Yeah, though they kept it side by side, but definitely.
And McConey's in front with DRS.
Somehow I don't think either of them got DRS. So I'm not seeing it on either of the wings.
No, McConey definitely had DRS. I saw his wing pop open.
Alright, my bad. But yeah, battles going on further down the field. Now the top 2 really cannot afford to pit. 2.5 laps to hold off.
No.
They've left it too late. They have to double down now. When's the last time McLaren doubled down on its strategy? I think Russia.
Well, that didn't go too well for Lando Norris.
Yeah, although to be fair, that was dries onto wets rather than the other way around. Four-star picking
time
up.
penalty for 4-star. 4-star is currently at the back of the pack, so
Yeah, it is still War Daddy with the fastest lap.
he will be getting an extra point from that. No, he won't. It's in 11th, so he won't be getting anything from it. He's just stopping the top boys from having it.
Yeah, essentially. Although I don't think he's really. Where is he? P9 in the standings, so you know, kind of involved, but not excessively. Mercedes not having the best go in Tier 2. P9 and P9 and P19 in terms of points. It's the final lap now started by Shu. He's got 5 seconds to Liam. He's got over 20 seconds to Farrell. 2 laps to
We're
hold
out
that
of sync
off.
here, lad, because I'm still on lap 30.
So
with
yeah,
Shu.
no. That was me being an idiot, misspeaking.
Oh, right, I was going to say.
Strauss getting McConey back. Yeah, no. White flag lap. Wait, no, not even that. 2 laps to go. What am I saying? Too much Singapore and I'm losing my sanity.
It's 'cause it's been quite tame, to be fair, mate. That's what it's been.
Yeah, a couple of DNFs, one in the pit lane, one in the wall. 2 VSCs.
That was a bit of weather.
Some pretty respectful driving.
All the boys have done well. Because let's face it, Singapore's not everybody's favourite. It's some people's favourites, but a lot of people don't have it as their favourite.
Yeah, it's not quite one of the tracks where people, magically get, I don't know, 10 different kinds of illness simultaneously and have to pull out. There's obviously making a mistake further down the order in the first sector, actually about to be lapped by Shu, who's just started his final lap. And yeah, no, this is looking very good for Shu.
Oh, Shu just dominated all session. Nosey's getting a 3-second times penalty as well now, but I don't think it's going to bother him too much. No, he's 13th currently with an 18-second gap between him and 3-4. So, I'll say if you had to pick a driver of the day, who's it going to be? Mine's personally Shu.
Yeah, no, without question. Strauss was looking very good at one point, but a mistake call at the end. Qualified amazingly, did very well with judgmenting on the inters. Beautifully did it under that VSC. Yeah, well, definitely. Because if he'd done it earlier, then he would have been ahead. And if he'd done it, hadn't done it, he would have held on. He's done well to battle McConey back. Actually, I don't know where he's got that 2.5 second gap to McConey. If that was a mistake by that driver or what. But now I'm just on board with Farrell, watching that time come down, but not come down quick enough. He can push all he likes. He's not going to catch Liam, and Liam is going to, well, I say he's going to leave this race. He's probably going to leave this race leading the championship. He needs to get it to the end of this lap first, in one piece.
There's a sizable gap between him and T-Griff. T-Griff all the way down in P7.
Yeah. Who have we got? McConey P4, Farrell P3, so it is going to be pretty close. I guess the
Shu brings it round the last corner to bring it home to win the Singapore Grand Prix, and by a sizable gap as well.
Yeah, Hobbsy there trying to make sure. Hobbsy slowing down, so he only had to do 30 laps, not 31. As Liam comes across the line, Farrell finishing off that podium. Strauss P4 after his amazing start. Shame.
Fastest lap there at the end as well for Strauss as well, I think. 10-second time penalty for Nosey for the corner cutting. It just gets worse for him.
T-Griff, oh hang on, T-Griff has had a moment. Can he even finish P7? Yes he can. Interesting way to cross the line, very sideways. Oh, actually he had a massive gap, didn't he? So no worry for him. But yeah, no, he was not pointing forward across the line. Here we go, battle
5-second times penalty.
8. I don't think these three are going anywhere actually due to their penalties. So we have Claire, PR, Cold Paradox, War, Daddy, and then Not Jack just behind. He will be sniped off by Steiny. Can Steiny? No, it is just P11. And I think that should be the last of the points. Nolsey, 18 seconds of penalties. And still retains.
And another 5 seconds right at the end there as well for him.
Is he going to retain P13? I mean, it doesn't make a difference.
He is retaining P13. Doesn't make a difference, but that last lap though, on the other hand, deliberately cutting corners. That's
yeah. Ooh. Hang on, what are the Red Bulls doing?
Maybe the
Full start going for the absolute send on Waitsy.
Oh, he wanted to give us some donuts. Go on.
Hey!
He knew we were watching. He's 100% listening to us. Go on, lad. And he's got my driver of the day now for that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Actually, fair. He's lucky he didn't take out Waitsy. I don't know if he's in a party with Waitsy or not, but
yeah, that may be a Stewart's
well, he didn't
inquiry.
Didn't take out the other Red Bull, just himself. So.
I say Waitsy's just put in their chat, one of the worst performances I've ever had. Real DC said that's horrendous.
Strauss, I did a Farrell pit, yeah, after that last week. Pit by Farrell. Get the feeling. But no, it is Shu who led. Very, very dominant there from the McLaren driver. Very much deserved that victory. 5-6 seconds gap in the end.
I mean, fair play to him.
And with the one stop, It was a dry to wet to dry race, and he successfully pulled off a one stop.
Yeah. And for that, that's why he's got my driver of the day.
Right, it's four stop at anything. I want to hear the man who's doing donuts. Actually, I'm going to quick rundown of the order. So, as we said, podium.
4-star is typing.
Ooh, wonderful. So the podium, Shu with the victory, then Liam and Farrell alongside him. Strauss P4 with that one extra point for fastest lap after that mistake pit stop later on. Did get him the fastest lap, but lost him potential P2. Then Coney, Dylan again the reserve doing well. A top 6 for him. Tigriff, bit of a poor one from him. Not great championship wise. Clerpiar got Paradox and War Daddy to finish out the top 10. Steiny and not Jack to finish out the points. Then Nolsey, Mr. Freefall, DC, Wait C, 4-star, the man who gave us donuts, and Hobbsy, the one-man finish a lap down. Ennis with his pit lane retirement, and Indian Jesus with his VSC bringing ways. Yeah, that rounds out the race. Let's try and get the
Very
three boys
tame
in.
Singapore. Very tame.
Right, I'll try and get the boys in for an interview. Quickly send them a ping. And we also actually ought to do the we ought to run the numbers as to what happens championship wise. Right, let's try and work this out. So Liam got, what is it, P2, so he gets 24 points. Compared to Tigriff, P7 only gets him 10 points, so 14 point gain. He'll be 12 points ahead of Tigriff. What happens to Makoni then? Makoni P5, that gets him 14 points. So he will.
Scott's asking for an interview. I feel like we should add it in as
well. Right, hang on. Shu said yeah, Liam said yeah, Farrell said yeah, Scott's asking to join. We'll invite them anyway.
Yeah. A quick swift kick to the. Oh, we've got Farrell joining us already.
Hello, hello. Well, congratulations on your P3. Don't know if you're expecting to get it until you saw Strauss pit, but.
Yeah, well, I did the same last week, so I think it's those rankings around the Melbourne.
Yeah, only fitting. So we were trying to work out what this does title-wise. I think you stay P4.
Yeah, I think Liam goes back in the lead.
Yeah, Liam's got 12-point advantage over Tigriff. I think.
Where did Tigray finish in?
P7. There's Liam P2, you P3, Makoni P5, Tigriff P7.
Right, so I closed 10 points on Tigray, so.
Right, Shu.
All the boys in now.
Yeah, Shu, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Right, well, first off, congratulations on your win. 5
thank you.
seconds lead in the end, very much kind of ran the race from start to finish.
Yeah,
Had
it
that,
was a hard race.
yeah, of course, the brief hiccup with Strauss pitting onto Inter's under the VSC, but in the end caught up with him, overtook him eventually, and kind of just ran away with it. Chose not to pit, which panned out very well for you. I think that was the right strategy in the end. Certainly worked. But, yeah.
Yeah, I was behind Strauss. It was pretty hard. You just can't overtake when there's rain on Singapore. I had a hard time, but I was trying to force on a mistake from Strauss, and that worked pretty well.
Yeah, and then Liam, the only other man to remain on the Inters to the end of the race, provisionally the new championship leader, so back on top.
Good stuff. I was not on the championship lead for one race, and it sickened me. Back on there. But no, there was one bit where it was me, Farrell, McConey, and Tigriff, all bunched up together.
Oh yeah,
And
we were watching.
It was the nerves were getting there. It was like, okay, this is a real championship fight. We've got 4 of the best, all next to each other. And then, thankfully, I don't know what happened, but I just managed to break away. And that interstint, I followed it, and yeah, that staying to the end of the race worked perfectly for me.
Yeah, because you were behind Strauss before he chose to pit onto the softs, weren't you?
Yeah.
Tempted to follow him in, or decided that you were set in your ways, you weren't going to pit, no matter what he did?
As soon as Farrell pitted, I was checking the gap, and once I knew that I was going to be behind Farrell, I was, might as well
Yeah.
stay out, do something different. I know that the Inters, if you have, the Inters on a dry track, or dries on a wet track, Inters on a dry track is phenomenal, because for whatever reason, you only lose about 4 seconds to the soft and mediums. So I thought, I'm not going to lose 26 seconds in 4 laps, and thankfully I didn't get embarrassed there.
Yeah, 7 seconds to spare in the end, so nicely managed there over Frowell, who was the lead runner of those who did choose to pit again. Already briefly spoke to him, and then the other man who decided to join the interview because he felt like it, Mr. Freefall down in P14.
Hey.
Hiya.
Hello.
It's been about 3 seasons, so I thought, it's about time I had one.
Not enough to be commentating Tier 4 then.
Well, but it takes all the limelight away from me and puts on the driver, so I can't be having that, come on. I had an interesting race, dotting about at the back. I did debate a couple of times under the virtual safety car, just rolling the dice and pitting, and then I bottled it, and then again at the end, and I bottled it, and then I did decide to pit and spun out of the pit. The highlight of my race was the 4-way battle that was meant to happen between me, 4-star, Hobbsy and DC. We're all sitting talking to each other, and 2 of them decided they didn't want to be involved anymore, and that was about as close as it got.
Right, so then a question to all of you, especially the 2 championship contenders. Next week,
Austria.
What think?
Oh, that doesn't sound
Liam?
convincing.
I'm not a fan of Austria or Mexico or Saudi Arabia, and I'm not a fan of Singapore either. So
You got Belgium right at the end.
not a fan of that either, really.
Oh,
The rest of this calendar is kind of all of my worst tracks put into one. So I'm gonna have to practice a bit more than usual. But yeah, it's Austria. It's a quick circuit. I'm in Singapore, wet Singapore. It's too long. My recording cut out for the 60-minute interval, and I started it at the start of the race. So I'll be excited for a quick race. Hopefully, not quicker than 36 laps. Oh no!
Oh, dirty tactics are coming out at the back end of the season, lads.
The dark arts are happening. This is a sad way for this to end, Farrell.
Scott, all the way down at the back end of the grid, how are you feeling for Austria?
Well, if any of the full-time drivers are listening, I hope you're busy next week so I can race again. I think, from a more of a neutral perspective, it'll be a good one. Austria, obviously a short track, bit less of a skill gap, so it'll be good to see these guys at the front, maybe even closer than they are. And maybe, someday a little surprise edition up near the front, who knows. But it'll be a good one to race or watch, certainly.
Yeah, and certainly every race, championship battle, still remaining pretty close, I think.
Still close.
I don't know how many points it is now between... Well, Farrell was the furthest, and he only dropped... what was it? 4 points compared to Liam. So I think that puts him...
The championship is still
26
open.
points. Yeah, top 4 within 26
Yeah.
points, if my numbers are correct. And of course, provisionally, don't know how many of you felt like punting out the drivers, but yeah. Well, anything else you guys want to say, or should we end here?
Agreed. No, GG's. It was a really good race, and it looks like we are going to have a very good end to the season, I think. Nerve-wracking. Maybe not the nicest for me, Farrell, McConey, and Tigre,
Yeah.
but I'm excited. And Waitsy. Don't forget Waitsy. I think Waitsy might be in this title.
Yeah,
fight still.
he's keeping his head in. Where did he finish? Oh, actually, not a particularly strong race from him this time around. I think he was
I think
way
right
down.
at the end kind of dropped off.
Waitsy unfortunately got held up in the free fall boat race. Sort of stuck behind me for quite a large percentage of the race.
Yeah, P16 in the end for Waitsy, so actually I think Strauss jumps up into P5 in the championship. But I will end it here for now. Go watch Tier 1. They've got a... Is that a safety car or a VSC? I think that's a safety car. So go watch the safety car restart, but from us that is goodbye until next week around the Red Bull Ring.
With the Red Bull Ring.